Hey guys, welcome to the Killing the Tea podcast. This is Gare,
And Kate.
and we are going to be discussing all things chills, thrills, and kills. Kate and I are going to be talking about our favorite books, TV shows, and movies that are in the thriller or crime fiction genre, as well as some reading habits and other items related to how we met on Bookstagram that will fit in with this podcast. So, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope that you have fun and get totally terrified. We'll talk until midnight.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It could happen though.
It
For
could.
real.
Yeah, seriously. Um, so Miss Kate Gray, how was your day? Your hair looks
Like I was
phenomenal.
in glam, thank you.
It looks so
So
good. Your
I did my
bangs look
roots.
tremendously amazing.
Yeah. They're
Obsessed.
really they're so like okay. Bruce agrees. Hold on. Bruce Wayne, come here. There are dogs barking in our neighborhood. So
And he's like, "Shut up. My mom's trying to record a podcast."
yeah, be quiet out there. My mom needs it to be quiet. Yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
exactly what's happening. But yes, I filled in my roots. Always makes it look really good, especially when the light hits it.
I was
And the
gonna say you have that
bangs,
line, like,
mm-hmm,
yeah.
and the bangs are not Larrying.
No,
So it's a good bang day.
it's a good bang day.
Yeah.
It's a good
And we're
day
both
to
wearing
get banged.
pink. So
Yes.
we're twinning even in our
Mm-hmm.
pink comfy sweat shirts.
Yes, I'm
I always get
obsessed.
tripped up on sweaters and sweatshirts.
I always feel like I say the wrong one. Like
I
I
do,
mean a
yeah.
sweatshirt and I'm like, oh, I'm wearing a sweater, but like honestly, it's just something warm. So who
Yeah.
cares?
I
Like
know. Like if I could just wear a blanket, I would.
oh my God, I've been looking forward to this all day. This week has
Me
been
too.
a test.
And it is Tuesday, everybody.
It's Tuesday. I hate Tuesdays though. Like Mondays
Yeah.
obviously suck because you're like going back to, well, I'm going back to work. And then
Mhm.
Tuesdays are just like Monday's like annoying little sibling
You're
because
right.
it's like you're not even to the halfway mark. I just had a stroke. You're not even to the halfway part of the week. It's not like a fresh start because Monday sucked. So it's just like Tuesday is the worst. My
I
God.
kind of agree with you. Except now I look forward to this. So
Same. And
it's
I'm glad that we
like
do it on Tuesdays because even if work
mhm,
sucks, I'm like, well, at least we have some sort of
some tea to kill.
some tea to kill. And I like to get Subway on Tuesdays because I'm like, oh, I
Yeah.
can't like slave over a hot stove and then go try to
Mm-mm.
do the podcast.
I would look like Larry if I did that. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I get tacos. So we literally
Ooh.
have Taco Tuesday now.
Do you do like a chain restaurant or do you do something local, like small?
It's kind of like both. Like it's like in Indiana, there are a bunch of them, but it's not like national.
Cool. What's it called?
Yeah. It's called El Rodeo.
El Rodeo.
Yep.
I love to read restaurant menus online.
Me too.
I'm like obsessed with it. Like I always
Yeah.
my friend Tyler will probably make fun of me for this because he like does think it's like really like weird. But I mean, he's just like more go with the flow kind of person and I'm not,
Yeah.
and
Me
he's very
neither.
patient with that, but like I love to like he'll send me like TikToks or like memes or something where people are like when you have to like study the menu for 3 hours before you go out to dinner and he's like, oh my God, this is you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now
You
if
gotta
I
know
ever
what you're
go,
getting into.
yeah, now if I ever go to this place in Indiana, I will know. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's funny. I do love to read menus.
I do
Um,
too.
especially the Cheesecake Factory menu
That is
because
extensive.
well, it's so big, but I'm also a vegetarian. So like there's it's not like your typical restaurant where I'm like, I only have one or
Right.
two choices. Like
Yeah.
I could go ham at Cheesecake
That's
Factory
a
and
really
allow
good
it.
point.
So
This podcast is not sponsored by the Cheesecake Factory, but we're open to it.
especially those avocado egg rolls. Have you ever had those?
I have not. I haven't been to the Cheesecake Factory in a really long time.
I'm not like a fan of traveling anywhere and going to a chain restaurant. Like I firmly believe
Yeah.
in, but I do feel like if we ever travel somewhere together, like the first time that we meet should be at a Cheesecake Factory now.
That's a really good point. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Gonna happen.
Yeah, because the appetizers there are insane, and I'm a huge appetizer person.
I love all of the levels of food. Appetizers, entrees, dessert, all of it.
I'm not a huge sweets person, but I will mess with a cheesecake.
Okay.
Like a
Well, at
hundred
least you'll do
percent. Like
that.
I will eat cheesecake, or if it's anything chocolate and peanut butter combined.
Oh my God. Now I want to make cookies. I might make
Somebody
cookies
shared
after
a
this.
recipe for peanut butter pie with me, and it looked so good because they like drizzle hot peanut butter on top of it and then crushed up Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oh my
So
God.
I got the recipe and I'm going to try to make that this weekend.
That sounds so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'll send you a pic. Well, I'll probably put a pic on Instagram and be like, oh my God, look, I fucking made something.
I would brag about a cheesecake too.
Check this out.
I do have a really good like tri-layer pumpkin cheesecake hybrid pie that I make every Thanksgiving, and it's so good. So I'll send you that one too. If you like
Yeah,
pumpkin. Some people don't like pumpkin.
yeah, I do. I
Okay.
love pumpkin.
Oh yeah, we
Like,
have talked about that.
yeah, I was gonna say I feel like I was like recently listening to like one of the episodes of us talking about pumpkin and how I get annoyingly angry when it's pumpkin spice season and the weather's still hot.
Yeah, it does happen though.
So fucking annoying.
I definitely made my first pumpkin muffins when it was still warm here. Sorry.
Love pumpkin muffins.
They're so good. I had one for breakfast this morning, actually.
I love that. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of things that we love.
Yes. We finished another book in the Shelby Lake series. And it got us thinking, one, it was great. Two, we should talk about our favorite series.
Mm-hmm. I love that you picked this topic. This was
good.
We haven't even finished recording yet. And like, I already know that this is going to be a winner for me because this was exactly what I needed. Because twist for all of our listeners, not only did we read the second book, and hopefully not the last in the Shelby Lake series.
That's what I was thinking.
Hopefully not the last, but I started the second book in the Frost Easton trilogy by Brian Freeman that you had recommended to me. And I am 25% through as of today.
Nice.
It is so good. It is giving me everything I want. I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. I also got it on Kindle Unlimited. Kindle Unlimited, dude. Like you are just changing. Yes,
for free. I literally read my Kindle to death. My Kindle is dead. This is the only screen it will show.
So it's not just the battery?
No, like this is me turning it on. But they're replacing it, so whatever.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I woke up at 5, all excited to read this morning, and I couldn't turn my Kindle on. And I was like, cool.
So yeah, like I had looked at my Kindle and it had, because I read a book on my Kindle from NetGalley on Sunday and it was like 40%. But I was like, I need this to be at 100 when I start the new Frost Easton book because I'm going to read before we start recording tonight and I'm going to read before I go to bed tonight. And so I charged it and I saw your story and I just thought that you were like in the middle of reading and the battery died and you just had to wait for it to recharge. That is
a white screen of death.
That is a nightmare. So the thing is like I have physical books and then I have my Kindle, and you are a Kindle girl, like
all the way.
You do not have, this is like literally somebody's bookshelf, like just
it was like my bookshelf broke.
Disappearing into thin air.
Yeah.
So
I had to read on my phone like a peasant.
Jesus. That
and
sucks.
For everyone who listened last week, I'm reading Trace of Evil right now that you recommended to me. So
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to like maybe finish it this morning, and instead I was on customer service. So Tuesdays, right?
Right, right. So now, when do you like, because I know like Amazon Prime is like 2-day shipping. So like I would
Mm-hmm.
just think that you should have this tomorrow or Thursday.
It's what it says. It should be here tomorrow afternoon. That's why I was like, it's early, but I know they have people in customer service. So I just like stuck it out this morning because I
Oh
was like,
my
I need this ASAP.
God.
Mm-hmm.
What Kindle do you have?
I have the newest paperweight. It's like the
Okay.
paperweight signature edition. And I got it in June. So thankfully it was under warranty. And I was
Okay.
like, yeah, this shouldn't have broken already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine, I have the paperweight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which one I have though, because
Mm-hmm.
this past summer I was like trying to figure it out because I kept seeing the ads that were like, bring this to the beach or to the pool with you because some of the Kindle Paperwhites are waterproof.
Yes, the Oasis.
So I was like, but I was like, I guess I'm not going to test that.
Yeah.
Taking in the
I'm
pool with
not
me and then being like,
right. I'm
oh,
not in a pool very often either. So
I do enjoy the pool in the summer, but
do
I
you
was
have a
like,
pool?
yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
So yeah,
So
duh.
but like I don't know, I just thought it was like, I guess my thing is so I don't like to be hot, but I do like to be in the pool when it's hot. So
Mm-hmm.
I like perfect summer day outside for me is when it's like warm or hot out, and I'll like get in the pool and then feel like I'm cooled off enough, and then I'll just like get on a lounger with a book or my
Yeah.
Kindle and like read. But I was like,
Nice.
if I'm going to get up from that thing and I'm going to be like wet, I don't want to get my Kindle
Yes.
wet unless it's the one that can survive it. But I was like, I'm just not going to test it.
I wouldn't
Um,
either.
because I also screwed up big time when I'll show you, when I ordered my Kindle, I got this
Mm-hmm.
little cover for it.
Yeah.
But I have no idea why I got this cover, because my like least favorite color in the entire world is red.
Were you like, what happened?
I have
Were you
no idea.
possessed?
I don't know if I like thought I clicked a different color. I don't know
Maybe
if I
that's what it
like,
is.
I have no idea what it is. But now, I mean, I think there's been like 2 or 3 versions of the Kindle since I got this. So now
Mm-hmm.
it's like, this is like trying to buy like a freaking like,
Yep. Like an
you know,
iPhone 6 case.
yeah. And I'm like, what the hell?
Mhm.
So now I just don't have a case on it whatsoever. But I hold on to this
That's
just to
okay.
be like, if I travel with it.
Yeah, you
Because
gotta
I'm
keep
like,
it
I'd
kind of
rather deal with
safe.
red than like just tossing that little bastard around.
Right.
So, okay, well, I'm excited that we're going to record a bookish podcast when your Kindle is dead. And you're probably going to like, we're probably going to like end this and you're going to be like, this sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Thankfully, I can use my phone. So
Yeah.
just rolling with it for now.
Ugh, that
But I did want to
sucks.
finish it. I do love Trace of Evil. It's so cute.
I was
And
wondering how you were doing with it because you were really, I think, I think we talked a bit on Saturday or Sunday, but like
mm-hmm,
around like last night, and this was like 11:30. So I was like, we're
mm-hmm.
not gonna, but like I was like, man, she's been really quiet this week.
And
So she
that's
must be like really
funny.
into this book because
So much editing.
yeah,
So
you've
much
just been
editing.
busy. Well,
Yeah.
I was also like, it
Less
was
reading.
it was counteractive to how I felt the other night because
Mm-hmm.
we were messaging until like 11:30 midnight, and then like you would
Mm-hmm.
message me like at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, this is like really strange, is that like I fall asleep
Uh-huh.
and like I'll like message you and then like roll over and like go to bed, and then like the
Yeah.
next morning I wake up and I have these like messages from you at like random odd times, and I'm like, I actually don't even think that I fully understand your sleep schedule. Are you a vampire?
I wish I was.
Imagine.
It is, yeah, my sleep, it is a little more erratic lately. It kind of depends on if Tyler's home or not. And then lately, I just keep rolling with it if I wake up early. because I can
Mhm.
just read more before I have to work. So I
Yeah,
am
because
sleeping less than I used to.
yeah, because there was something Jesus, I don't even know. I don't even remember what it was, but there was something I'd recommended to you, and I was like,
Mhm.
don't read this when Tyler's gone. Maybe Stalker.
Yes. Yeah, it might have been that one. Or
Yeah.
Chestnut Man? I can't remember.
Either one, honestly, like either one, they
Yeah.
both kind of deal with women being put in really shitty situations, and similar. So yeah.
Whew, I was just power sneezing. That would have been really loud in your ears if I didn't mute it.
I didn't even notice because I was just like la 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 la.
You're like just
But
enjoying you're thinking about Stalker.
bless you.
Thanks.
um
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
so do you
Series.
yes, yes. Hit me with your first one.
Okay. Rory Moore is my
Okay.
first one. I think
Okay.
it's called Rory Moore and some is the other guy in it in the title of the series. Now I'm doubting myself, but I'll look. It's a Charlie Donnelly series.
Okay.
Um, I really am so not prepared. Rory Moore / Lane Phillips is actually what the series is called,
Okay, well,
but Rory
yes.
Moore is who I remembered. So there are two right now, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And it is like really dark suspense crime fiction, basically.
So good.
And the main character kind of has some like unique perceptive abilities because she's on the spectrum. So it's really cool, very dark, very twisty, and like really big stories. Like it kind of sprawls all over the place, but I love it.
Hmm. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Some Choose Darkness was the first in that one,
Correct.
correct? Okay.
Yep.
I loved that one. I
That
loved.
one
I
was
mean,
so good.
I've enjoyed all of his books, but that one just really stuck out for me, because of the dual timeline and the serial killer plot.
Yes.
So good.
Yeah,
So
that one was
good.
fascinating.
I can't wait to be annoying with my picks.
How are you gonna be annoying?
Oh,
The
just you wait.
suspense is
This
building.
um because I have six that I have to like be like, I could not cut one of these from my list because I was aiming for five, because I know that when we talk, like sometimes it's like, oh wait, what about this one? Or so I like narrowed it down to six, but it's actually seven because two of them are connected. And then I had three honorable mentions. So I was like, you know, at this point, like we're gonna finish this tonight and you're gonna be like, I'm never giving you a task again because you just break every single rule. um but obviously my top one that I recommend is the Juna Lina series by Lars Kepler.
Mhm.
There are 8 books in the series. They follow one detective, but his like personal storyline starts really with book 4. So the first 3 are like very standalone ish. Like
Yeah.
you could read them in different orders and it wouldn't really matter. But if
Mhm.
you start with the Sandman, which is book 4, and you continue from there, that's what I recommend, because
Yeah.
those stories connect. So like something will happen at the end of one that'll be brought up later in a next book, and so
Yeah.
forth. And the first 3, just they're really good, but they have kind of that different feel of not really diving into his personal life. So
Okay.
yes, start with the Sandman and then go to Stalker, as I mentioned before. But they are just so good. They're atmospheric, Swedish
Mm.
police, procedural crime, serial killer, terrifying, amazing characters. I
Yeah.
love them. I love, love, love them.
Glowing review.
Oh my gosh, they're
You're
just the
gonna get so
best.
many people to read that series.
They're like right there
Nice.
because I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for an announcement for what they're doing next.
Yeah.
Because typically they're about like 1 book a year authors, which
Mhm.
like I love, but um they kind of gave like a scoop I think it was last winter about like what's coming up from them. So like I'm waiting for like news because I just am so excited to see where the series goes because I'm 8 books into this series and like to me it could never end.
Yeah,
You know, like if it
that's
never ends, I will
awesome.
just like what is it? Like Scarpetta by Patricia Cornwell where there's like almost 30 books.
Yes, it is
Like
so long. Yeah, the whole series is so long.
I'd be into reading those.
Yeah,
That
I
would
don't
be
know
a
why
fun
I'm
task.
freezing.
That would be a fun task for us
Mm-hmm.
to
Oh my gosh, add it to the like 6 books you assigned me last week.
I
I'm
know.
trying. I'm trying so hard.
That's probably why that's probably what happened to your Kindle. It was like, holy shit, Garrett overloaded
It
your
was like,
Kindle and
stop.
done.
We can't handle it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's funny. Well, my next one would have to be the Shanna Merchant series from Tessa Weggert. What was that on your list?
You're damn right it is.
Yeah, nice. We have a similar one already.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like moody, atmospheric, dark police kind of mystery procedurals with like uh I cannot get my throat cleared. Um the main detective has also had a run-in with a serial killer. So
Yes,
there's that unfolding throughout the whole series.
he's amazing.
Yeah,
That
I
serial
love those
killer is so
books
scary.
so much. Yeah,
I
he's
love her.
terrifying. Mm-hmm.
Tessa is amazing. Amazing.
Yeah,
I ran into her at um the Luckiest Girl Alive premiere and we took a
yeah,
selfie with Wendy Walker. But I was supposed to meet Tessa because the books take place in Alex Bay, like Alexandria Bay, New York, which is like an
yeah,
hour and a half from me.
yeah.
So we were going to meet up, but unfortunately, I had some family issues and I wasn't able to meet her. But
Mm,
I was so excited when I ran into her at the Luckiest Girl Alive premiere because I was really excited to meet her and I didn't get to do it. And it
yes.
was like so bummed, but she is so sweet. I actually just today got an arc of the new one coming out in
Oh,
December.
that's so exciting.
I was so excited.
Yeah,
So excited because I love them.
I do too. I saw your picture with her and I was like, oh
She's
my
so
God.
freaking nice. She's so
That's so
nice.
cool.
So nice. I love her. That was on my list too. And I'm so excited now because now I don't feel like I'm breaking the rules as much
Because you get to share one with me.
because I just share one with you and I'm like, okay, well, I believe
These rules that we just like entirely made
these
up.
rules that these rules that I'm like, well, sometimes people like they're like, oh, let's discuss this. And like you might have like 3 to 5. And then I'm like, oh, I have
Yeah,
7 to 8 and I can't cut any of them
I
because
have
I'm a
20.
psycho. Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, well, I can narrow it down to like what I can or see what fits in with them. But
Yeah,
mine are in no order
yeah,
because
mine aren't either.
um I figured I would like list mine either like in order of like when I thought of them, whatever. But the fact that you mentioned the Shauna Merchant series leads
That's what I
me.
couldn't remember if it was Shanna or Shauna.
I think it's Shauna.
You're right, because it's only one in.
Yeah. But it could be Shanna with one N.
Who knows? We'll have to ask
I
Tessa.
think it's Shauna. I don't know. It's like
I
one of
think
those
you're
things where
right.
like the whole time you read it, you're like, oh yeah, Shauna Merchant. And then like when somebody's like,
Right.
is it Shauna or Shanna? You're like, I don't know.
I
I
know.
don't remember anything.
I'm like, how did I not notice that?
But yeah, I know, right? So, but one of my next ones is the
hmm
Ellery Hathaway series by Joanna Schaffhausen.
This is
And
new to me.
it is so good. I think there's 5, maybe 6 in the
hmm
series. Um, but the reason I'm mentioning it now is because, like the Shauna Merchant series, The first book, The Vanishing Season, describes
Yes.
this woman who had a run-in with a serial killer
Mm-hmm.
when she was younger, and then people start to disappear, and it kind of like shows in a very realistic way her relationship with the detective who saved her life.
Oh, that's cool.
So I think it's like really interesting to see that, because like I mean she like had this very horrible, like this is not for
Yeah.
people who are squeamish. um this isn't like one of those things where like he kidnapped me and duct taped my mouth and then like I was like she went through some like really brutal torture, but
Mm-hmm.
um the character development is so good, and I love the relationship between her and the detective that saved her, like especially as an adult, because
Yeah.
she was relatively young, but it has that like she was kidnapped by the serial killer in
Mm-hmm.
New York City in like the summer when it was hot, because these kids were like outside playing this like kind of like hide and go seek game, and that's how she was abducted. So it has this
Whoa.
like very creepy opening, but
Yeah.
um there are things mentioned throughout the series that like you kind of are aware of,
Uh-huh.
and it could just be in passing, but then like two books later it's like that thing that was mentioned is like the plot of this entire book now, you know.
Right.
So yeah, so if you like the Shauna Merchant series, then I think that you would definitely love the Ellery Hathaway series.
Okay. So when you mentioned serial killer, it reminded me of a series that I haven't finished. But did you read The Butterfly Garden years ago? 2016?
Loved.
Yeah. And I forgot it's a series. There are 4 of them now.
Mm-hmm. I read
I
all
have not
four.
read all of them.
I read all four of them. I know that I really liked them.
Mm-hmm.
There's like something off with me about book four. I don't know if it was that it
Okay.
like if I felt like maybe it wasn't necessary, or if I didn't like it as much as the
Mm,
first three. I
yeah.
definitely didn't hate it, you know, but there's
Yeah.
something I'm getting like some sort of like weird like
Like something was
something
wrong.
from the past
I
is
get
kind of
it.
like lingering here. But
Yeah.
yes, I really did
The
like
first
those.
one was amazing. It
There
was
was
very so
this,
unique.
yeah, there was this movie I remember on the USA Network when I was in like high
Mhm.
school. And I think it was called like The Cabin by the Lake, or The Cabin
Mm.
by the Lake, and it was about like a man who was like a crime fiction author, and he was also a serial killer.
Whoa.
And he had like he would like murder these women and like dress them in like beautiful garments and then have a garden underneath the lake of all their bodies.
Oh God.
So the butterfly garden kind of reminded me of that, even though there's not a lake. But
Yeah.
so
Wow.
yes, yeah, so I loved the butterfly garden
I
series.
did too. I need
Yeah,
to reread it
yeah, that was
because
a
I
really
remember
good one.
loving it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
there's another series that I just wasn't even thinking of until you.
see what happened.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, damn, Garrett, you got to
This is
limit
what
yourself.
happens. I know. Eventually, I'll stop clearing my throat. But another one that I loved was the Detective Erica Foster series from Robert Brenza. And it's like
I'm
a
adding it
bunch
to my
of
list.
very kind of, there's a lot of serial killer, procedural thriller elements to it. And like the main detective is just like, she's kind of a badass, but also her husband or fiance, I can't remember which one. This is not a spoiler, I don't think, because I think you find out very early on. Maybe, I don't know. I'll cut it if it is, but her husband like died in an operation that she was running. So
Ooh.
throughout the whole series, it's kind of like she's like building her confidence back up in her decision making by catching serial killers. It's very good.
I'm
And
looking.
British.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
That's going to tie in really well with something that I'll mention later on today. But I'm actually looking at my bookshelf because I feel like I saw one of his books on my bookshelf recently and was wondering if you were going to mention it. Um,
Mm,
because I think that we've talked about him before.
we
Um,
did. I thought the
because
same thing.
I'm
Oh, it
adding,
was that Kate Marshall one, Nine Elms.
okay, yeah. So which I've read the first one in that, but
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's written two more of those.
yeah, because I have a list of I'm really, this is why like I loved this topic
Mm-hmm.
because I'm really into series right now. Like I'm looking for a series to binge.
Yeah.
Um, which I've been, I guess I can save this for a later episode because I have some ideas I'll message you about tonight. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm always looking for new series, and Erica Foster is definitely being added to my list of series that I'm going to
Yes.
be looking at.
It's just like dependably good, thrilling crime procedurals. Like
All
you know
right.
you're gonna like them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that I'm gonna like them too. And I also
I
am
think
like
you will.
really into like the British thing. I feel like
I am too.
I feel like the British crime procedurals are really good for winter. So like now I'm wondering like, and
And
you
the
know what I
first one is
missed?
called The Girl on the Ice. So very, very wintry.
I'm gonna have a Gare corner here for a second.
Go for it.
Do you know what I miss when it comes to all of these series? Box
No.
sets.
Oh yeah. Do they not make them anymore, like at all?
Some of them they don't. So there's a series right
Yeah.
now that we've talked about a few times that I was like, I've read a couple of those I need to get into, but I'm not going to mention what series it is because I have an idea for you. But
You are mysterious tonight.
I am so, you know what? Taylor Swift's new album comes out Friday, and I feel like I am just like a man of mystery now. Like she's inspiring
I
me
think
for all
you
these
are
Easter
a man
eggs.
of midnight mystery.
Yes, I'm just loving it. But I miss box sets because I'm collecting this damn
Yeah.
series, and if I could just order a box set of it, like I would just, that would
Yeah.
just make me happy.
I get it.
But also I kind of like collecting them because when I'm
Hmm.
like looking at different sites for them and trying to find them, it
Hmm.
brings me back to those days when I was like little and my mother and I were hunting for Beanie Babies.
Oh, that's so cool.
But now it's just me like with like a list, and so when I go to a bookstore I'm like, oh, I'll get the ones that are on my list that they have in stock anyway.
Yeah.
um but
Hashtag bring back box sets.
for the love of God, please bring back box sets. I don't even care if it's like a flimsy, cheap box that like is gonna like
Yeah.
fall apart as soon as I open it. Just like
Yeah.
let me buy all of them at a discounted price instead of spending
Hmm.
$12 on each one because it's annoying me.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
but speaking of procedurals that will blow your mind, I
Wide
wish I could
open.
wish I could do a drum roll, but I can't.
I'll
Um,
add one.
the Unsub series by Meg Gardner.
Hmm.
Have you read?
I remember you saying it because I remember that series or that title stuck in my head, but I haven't read it. You have so many assignments for me.
So many, but this, I mean, this one is going to,
Wow.
there's three of
These
them.
covers are amazing.
The covers are freaking beautiful. I don't,
Hmm.
but there's three of them, and each one is kind of based on a real life serial killer.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I do remember talking about this now.
So the first one is kind of based on, I believe, the Zodiac killer.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
The second
Inspired
one
by the never
is,
caught Zodiac killer.
yep, the second one is inspired by Ted Bundy.
Wow.
And the third one is inspired by the Golden State Killer.
Oh, wow. That one's really terrifying.
So they're amazing. When I say to you,
Uh huh.
like when you read these, I will read them with you. Like this
Hmm.
trilogy, I mean, I don't even want to call it a trilogy because I don't want to jinx myself and other fans of her that maybe it would
Want
stop at
more?
three, but I want
Yeah.
more. I want
Yeah.
more. I need more. Like this is a series that I think could go on and on and on just based on the fact that they are based
Right.
off true serial killers, true cases.
Yeah.
the police procedural aspect in them is so believable and so well, um what's the word I'm looking
Executed.
for? Executed, but also like researched.
Oh, nice.
So they're amazing. I love them. They're like just the best books for thriller
They're like,
lovers, police procedural, and just people who love crime fiction.
yeah,
And I want to
that's all you're gonna
recast
say
it.
about that. Ooh, so you do need to reread it.
I want to reread them because I'm like thinking of like a better cast. You know, I think I started rereading them sometime last year and then I got distracted by something, but like
Hmm.
they're books that I would definitely be like, I can pick this up again and again and again. Like almost like a comfort read, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're so, so good. I actually think that I bought 3 of them on my Kindle just because I was like, I
Nice.
need to have multiple versions. Like I have like the paperbacks, the hardcovers. I have like advanced reader copies of them all, and I just am
Oh,
obsessed.
that's awesome.
So yes.
Yeah. When I bought Trace of Evil, then like 2 days later, I got an offer for like the next two books to be like $4 on Kindle. So I just went ahead and bought them. I was like, you got me, Amazon. You got me.
You're not going to regret it. You're not going to regret
Yeah.
it.
I definitely have to keep moving through the list you gave me. So I'll have to come back to them. But I was like, I'll take the deal right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you won't regret it because they're all. I mean, they're all perfect for like spooky season. So if like
Hmm.
you binge the series, then you binge the series, which like
Yeah.
I probably would have if I had that opportunity, but like I just had to like wait for each book. But yeah,
Right.
there's
Yeah.
just something about them, the atmosphere in like the small town, and
Hmm.
I think one of them does take place around Halloween.
It's not this one. This one actually takes place in April.
Oh, for
I
some
remember
reason,
getting into it and they said April. I was like, I thought Gare said fall, but
you know
like
what's
I'll roll
so
with
funny
it.
too is like do you ever like read a book sometimes and like
Oh yeah.
if they're not describing like the summer heat or they're not describing like a snowstorm, you just automatically assume it takes place in the fall.
Yes. Like that's
I
where
think
I
that's what
want
I
to
did.
be.
Maybe it's the third one. Maybe it's the third
It's
one that
still
takes
really
place.
good. And it doesn't talk about the weather very often. So
Okay.
in my mind, it's fall.
This is not a spoiler, but I know that there is one of them that takes place on Halloween because I believe there's a woman's body found in a dumpster
Yeah.
in her Halloween costume.
Oh man. That's like look closer, which I loved
Mm-hmm.
so much too.
Mm-hmm. So good.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed part one of this episode. If you did, make sure that you come back on Thursday for part two. And don't forget to stay up to date with everything that we're reading and talking about on our Instagrams at Gare Indeed Reads and at the girl with the book on the couch. Links are also in the show notes, so make sure you follow.